can't clean that one up. This shit.
Islam. Islam, good morning. I'm on break, so I'm going to read. Okay, this is also information. Islam. Okay, hold on 1 minute. Let me just. I'm using my tablet and my cell phone. Islam. February the 1st, 2019. So I'm about to read to you the Hebrew law that was in the Senate, March the 31st, 1864. Okay. Islam, Dwayne Byfield Bey. Islam, how you doing today? I hope well. I'm just I'm gonna send this video to you, Islam. And this weekend I'm gonna work on Earth Sky. Yeah, I got my tablet. Okay. So this is what I'm about to read to you. I'm using my tablet. Okay. Can you? You need a few moments. Okay. What were you doing? Washing dishes? Keeping your room clean? Keeping your house clean? Okay. The Hebrew law. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Before I start reading it to you, let me check to make sure I have the time of the date. The time that I went on break. Hold on 1 second. Okay, it was approximately 11, so okay. So I'm going to try to come back. Okay. Today's been pretty well at Burger King. Yeah.
I got Richard by his sister. I got Teresa by his sister. I got Betty by his sister.
So anyway, let me continue, okay? All right. It is the Hebrew law. It says, well, this morning, I was in the bathroom. I wanted to tell you about this. I wanted to tell you about this visual I had. It was so interesting. I just did a video about the some telepathically people saying werewolf. And telepathically, or that sort of thing, or trying to initiate like something like telepathically. Did you read that video? Okay. Well, I just did a video about that, and what's interesting is as I was using the bathroom, I had a visual of that video. Can you, because you know that's a capability, that's a science that they say that's in the universe that the military and those that have that ability can do to the mind. They can send a visual of yourself, or it can, well, if you allow it, can cause stress, mental anguish, depression, dis-ease. But yeah, and I thought that was interesting. Yeah, and then so as I would walk, I didn't realize at first, but I can tell because there's like a slight pressure around my mind or my head when it happens. So that's how you can tell spiritually, or when you able to, that your thoughts are being invaded. But when you're conscious, but when you unconscious, you don't know. You have no idea. You're just walking around doing your thing. But when you're conscious of what you are among, then you're able to pay attention. Okay. But it's easy to be taken advantage of. It's easy to be vulnerable to possession and that sort of thing when you're unconscious. But as a conscious Moorish American, a Hebrew Muslim, I am conscious now, so I am aware of the different sciences that can be used to cause harm. Yeah, to cause harm, and it's connected to bondage. So that's exactly opposite of what the earth and the spirit of Mother Earth and the universe is made of. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is read. Yeah, well, and I thought today also. I saw this guy. I couldn't tell. Later he had. It has to be an Roby police. Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, it has to be an Roby police police officer. So I think he was a United States Marshal or whatever. But I think it was. So I could have offered him a police discount. I was thinking to myself, but after I heard him speak of him being a U.S. Marshal and. I didn't know he was a U.S. Marshal, and I think I heard someone say he was undercover, whatever. And he, as he left, he said, "Thank you, dear." And I said, "Oh, it's Rhonda." I just made sure he said Rhonda because it's important to address me by my name, especially if you're in a somewhat authoritative position. I'm assuming he's in a constitutional fold because I'm assuming he took the amnesty of Reconstruction to uphold the Constitution as a military officer. As a U.S. Marshal, so that's why. But and then as I did see like a MIL, which usually in that symbol for Navy drive by after he left out the door. But so he could have been a U.S. Marshal for the Navy. I'm not sure. I told you that the Navy Academy or something like that is behind Burger King. So that makes sense why so many come in that imply to be connected to the Navy or are in the Navy. So yeah, that makes sense now. So what I'm going to do is read the Hebrew law that was in the Senate March the 31st, 1864. Okay? And I'm going to read it right now. It says, said he, slavery had existed under some form or other from the first period of recorded history. It dates back even beyond the period of Abraham, the father of the faithful, in whose seed all the nations of the earth were to be blessed. We find that immediately after the flood, the Almighty, for purposes inscrutable to us, condemned a whole race to servitude. Venor or pron this is a language, I think it's Latin, that I do not know how to pronounce. And let me tell Dwayne about to say this. Hold on one second. Dwayne, I do not know how to pronounce that word. And he said, curse he Canaan, slave of slaves. He shall be to his brethren. It was continued among all people until the advent of the Christian era. It was recognized in the new disposition, which was to supersede the old. It has the sanction of God's own apostle. Can you hear me? For when Paul sent back Onesimus, it's snowing outside, so I can't walk outside. Well, I'll walk outside and show you. But it is snowing, so I can't be out there reading. To Philemon, when did he send? Whom did he send? He says, a free man. No, sir. He sent his doulos, a slave, born as such, not even his andropodon, who was such by captivity and war. Among all people and in all ages has the institution, if such it is to be called, existed, and had the continence of wise and good men, and even of the Christian church itself, until this modern time, up at least to the 19th century. It exists in this country and has existed for the beginning. Yes, it's referring to slavery. And this is Salisbury. I should make sure I say that. This is Salisbury defending slavery, okay, in the 19th century. So, but then it says it exists in this country. He says it exists in this country and has existed from the beginning. But Mr. Harlan replied to the position of Mr. Salisbury that slavery is right, is a divine institution, etc. Was very able and interesting. He plied upon authority. And what this is doing is describing how Mr. Harlan replied. He plied upon authority after authority, English as well as American, to show that there is not support of slavery, and especially of the title to services of the adult offspring of a slave, common law. And after also proving by the month or by the mouth of a favorite son of Virginia that it has not legal existence by virtue of any municipal or statutory law, he declared that the only remaining law that can be cited for its support is the as follows. The Levitical Code. It says the Levitical Code. The Levitical Code is on the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia. So, or I should say, yeah. So the Levitical as follows. It says both the bondman and thy bondmaids.
I've never been to that place, Joe.
Which thou shalt have, which is Leviticus 25:10. Let me make sure I said that. Which thou shalt have shall be on the brethren. Let me say that again. Both the bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be on the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye be bondmen and bondmaids. Okay. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which thou begot in your land, and they shall be your possession. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession, that they shall be your bondmen forever. I remark, said he, in this connection, that the Levitical Code or the Hebrew law contains a provision for naturalization. Islam, naturalization. Hold on. Yep. Yes, that is. Isn't it wonderful to learn true law? Islam, Beye. So right now I just got to the part of naturalization, which is I'm going to try to remember right off. That's Article 1, Section 8. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4 of the U.S.A. Constitution of 1787. And I leave room for error because when you lose it, you lose it. But I'm pretty sure that it speaks of that as well in Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4. Anyway, Islam. Of naturalization of foreigners, whether captives of war or voluntary immigrants, by compliance with the requirements of this law, they become citizens entitled to all the rights and privileges and immunities of nature Hebrews. The Hebrew slave code applicable to enslaved Hebrews is in these words. And if thy brother an Hebrew man or an Hebrew woman be sold unto thee and serve thee 6 years, then in the 7th year thou shalt let him go free from thee. Okay. I'm going to read one more part because I don't want to be late for break. Okay. Here I request the attention. Hold on 1 second. Okay, it says here I request the attention of those who reclaim compensation for emancipated slaves to this text. It says here I request the attention of those who claim compensation for emancipated slaves to the text. And when thou sendest him out free from thee, Thou shalt not let him go away empty. Thou shalt furnish him liberally out of thy flock and out of thy floor, which means granaries, and out of thy winepress, of that wherewith the Lord thy God hath blessed thee, thou shalt give unto him. Okay, Islam, hold on 1 second, okay? I'm switching over to the next page. This is the Hebrew law. Yeah, when I say Islam is a frequency with that divine word Islam, and the frequency vibrates as a Hebrew Muslim to the frequency I am naturally. So by saying Islam, it helps to raise the frequency naturally, because once again we are divine energies, right? Thank you. I know you're divine energies, and we want to raise our frequency in a divine manner. We don't want the frequency to be low, and we think and behave like an animal or a savage. So on the next page, I wrote, and this is not my words. This is the Hebrew law, but I just once again I did copy this because I wanted to put this in my notebook. Dwayne Beye spoke of power in writing things down. It shall not seem hard unto thee when thou sends him away, sedest, sends him away free from thee, for he hath been worth a double hired servant to thee in serving the 6 years. Okay, so what I'm going to, let me read one more part. It says, the Hebrew statutes provide that the heathen might be purchased and held as slaves. Remember, I've learned this as a Moorish American. The Moorish American National Republic is that being held as a slave is different from being a slave. And then when I read Moorish literature, and Prophet Noble Joe Ali spoke about the thoughts and the deeds of the Hebrews that took on a psychology of that which is undivine, that's not divine and savage. That's what caused them to be slaves. It wasn't because they were held as slaves, but they weren't slaves. But when they started to adapt their behaviors, their thoughts, their way of life, that caused them to be a slave. Okay. And their posterity after them, that under their naturalization law. Let me read that again. It says, the Hebrew statute provide that the heathen might be purchased and held as slaves, and their posterity after him, that under their naturalization laws all strangers and sojourners, bond and free, have the privilege of acquiring the rights of citizenship, that all Hebrews, natives or naturalized, might assert and maintain their right to freedom. Okay. Islam. So what I'm going to do now. Oh well, I did the basics so far. I came in and I came to work early today. I came to work early. I was here by 7:15 a.m. I started reading the Oath of Amnesty and Reconstruction. Let's see. I was reading the Oath of Amnesty and Reconstruction. And as I was reading the Oath of Amnesty and Reconstruction, I also read the Initial Emancipation Proclamation. Also, I read, this is all in 45 minutes, and I clocked in and was ready to work by 2 minutes. I clocked in and was ready to work 2 minutes before 8 o'clock. Yep. Yep. So that's good, right? So this weekend I plan to study. Let me, I'll show you the snow outside. Okay, 1 second. Islam. Oops. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Because I'm trying to rush. Yeah, I did a lot today. This morning, but I didn't exercise. Hold on 1 second.
Sure. I put one in there for you too. Please.
Islam, wait a minute, because I have my coat with me as well. Okay, 1 second. Did you hear me? Okay.
I like the whole.
Okay. I have, so what you're gonna do, you're gonna have to actually look at my Twitter site. But I'm walking in the snow right now. Well, Burger King stays open until, like, if it's really, really, really bad, where they not able to clean the roads, then Burger King actually closed. But usually the Burger King stays open. Oh no, earlier that was probably the manager, I think, and I saw CJ, the owner's son, here as well. So that wasn't him though. He was sitting in the back. The owner, Janelle, and Carl, his son, their son. Yeah. Okay. If you can see, when you look, the snow is really, really, really nice. It started coming down this morning. I walked this snow to Burger King many times. So I started working in 2016, and it snowed every year. So yeah, walked in snow, and came to work. I didn't miss one day, not one day. Well, that's a favor from me. Because favor for me. I'm going to I only have like a few more moments. I can't really say, but I want to just give you an idea of how it's snowing. I don't know. Imani said it was supposed to snow. If you're going to be able to see Wendy's, that's snowing. And yep. I didn't say the date. It was I said February the 2nd. Yeah, I did. I said February the 2nd, 2019. And Islam, happy holy day to you too. Happy holy day. Okay, let me go ahead back in. I don't want to be late because everything seemed to be flowing the way that I hoped. I actually came in, studied. Oh, I should say read. And I clocked in. I wanted to clock in about 10 minutes earlier, but I didn't. I clocked in at 2 before, right about 2 before, about, like I said, about 7:58. And I could have clocked in a little bit earlier. I felt like, but I didn't. So, because I was still reading. I started reading the initial Emancipation Proclamation. Anyway, let me hurry up and go. Islam, get back in here.